What's going on, boys? Hello, Andrew, Gravinder, Hamza, Bikram, Hamza again, Gravesh, Hamza again, Ricky, Guggen, Carlos. What's going on, boys? Welcome. Very, very odd action to end the week. I don't think anyone was expecting that, especially after the capitulation type day yesterday. By capitulation, I don't mean that that's the bottom. I don't mean anything. I just mean there was a big sell off a big binary event. So usually when there's a big binary event like CPI, like FOMC, what's up, G Money? Like something that's out of our control that we have to wait for a number, there's usually people are pretty hedged going into that number, so usually it's offset. A lot of the downside is offset. As you guys seen the last CPI, not yesterday's, but the last one, everyone was bullish into that CPI number, saying there's a rally, there's a rally. They were under hedged going into that CPI. We saw destruction yesterday. We seen how it is when everyone is hedged and the number comes hot. They dumped it pre-market. As soon as the market opened, they started ripping it straight forward. You guys see IWM right here. This orange right here is the pre-market. So CPI came out. Everyone was hedged going into yesterday. I seen a lot of doom and gloom online. And what's up, Andrew? Big dump pre-market. Right from the opening candle, we started going up, and we never stopped going up. It's the same story on all the indexes, even though the IWM was a little bit strong. And then when you get a rip like this, the next day you do not want to see a straight sell-off like this. This is not really bullish at all. We can't even put together two green days in a row on the market. What I was waiting for on IWM, I did take some puts today. What's up, Sarmand? Why I took puts today? Every single time IWM has gapped up or gapped down, as you guys see here, those gaps have been filled. So basically, ever since way back here, right here is where I started. I took IWM puts here. Thursday, September 15th, we had a huge gap down. It rallied the next day, did not quite fill the gap. The gap was at 180.86. We went up to 180.75 right here, the high. So we waited, and then this day I took puts right here as soon as we filled the gap from September 15th, and you guys seen what happened later. So on the way down, we left another gap. As you guys see here, we filled the gap on Wednesday, September 28th. If you bought puts at that gap filled, that would have worked as well. And another one here. We gap down here. As soon as we filled the gap today, I called out puts for November 18th. It's the exact same play over and over again. People keep changing to bullish, so we might have the bottom, we might have the bottom. If the play keeps working, just keep doing the same damn play. So we had a gap here from October 6th. The low was 172.91. Tried to get to the gap fill here, didn't work. Tried to get to the gap fill yesterday, didn't work. Today we hit the gap fill. I took the puts and straight down in a hole. We go almost $5 down on IWM. A lot of stuff right now, as you guys see here. This is a monthly. That trend line is for the weekly, actually. Here's the weekly right here. You guys see how it pulls back to the weekly trend line. Every time it does that, the market rallies a bit and then it bounces higher and the market comes down. Same thing here. Pulled back to the trend line. Market rallied these 4 weeks or even sideways because the market can't even rally anymore. And then the dollar bounced and the market came back down. Right here, September 12th, touched the trend line again, and then big pop the next week. Right now, we are kind of in no man's land. I can't tell you if this breaks higher. I can't tell you if it pulls back to the trend line. That's why I'm saying it's very hard to analyze for next week. If I had to pick something right now at this moment, I think we go lower. I think we see much lower next week. The reason being, after the big action yesterday, absolutely nobody wanted to overstay their welcome on the long side. They all got out today, and it was a big reversal. You guys see BTC has been holding on for dear life in this little weekly wedge. We did break out to the downside here on October 11th. No follow through. Bounced back up, back tested the bottom of the wedge. Tried to get back inside. We touched the 50-day moving average, and now we're moving right back down. So watch BTC this weekend for a flush down. If we do start moving down, you guys can see it a little clearer here. I had this wedge on from a long time ago. A little fake out above as well. Little fake out below. Do we go right back in the wedge or do we continue to the downside? These are levels I'm watching as well. 19,000, 18,860, 18,468, and then down to 17,622 on BTC. This is the RUT, the index that runs 24/7. These are Kara's levels, I believe, from a long time ago. As you see here, we're in a big chop zone, guys. We got 1738 to the top side, 1730, 1715, 1708. And to the bottom side, we have plenty of supports as well. So it's going to be hard to break all these supports, but for right now, it does not look like there's any buyers in the stock market at all. This is junk yields. Hasn't been able to cross over the 21-day moving average this whole rundown, as you guys see here. As soon as the 8 crossed below the 21 back in August here after that big bear market rally, every bounce has stopped at the 21-day moving average. This is HYG, this is junk bonds. Basically signals if risk is on or off in the market. Bounce to the 21-day here, big dump. Bounce to the 21-day here, big dump. Bounce to the 8-day here, so even weaker bounce, big dump. Got back to the 21-day here. You guys can see it's so easy to see this orange line. Just wait till it gets to the orange line and short everything. Until the trend changes, the trend is your friend. UB, I posted this last time we were doing the post market. Remember, this bear flag was what we were watching back in the day. As soon as it broke down, equities started making newer lows. I told you on that post market we were breaking down and making another bear flag. Watch for the break below, and look what happened, and look what the market is doing. So very weak all around. I do not see any reason to be bullish right now. Google, huge range, broke to the downside. This is the only stock that had positive gamma during that whole rundown, like Ricky said. That's why as soon as we started ripping yesterday, I ran straight to Google. It worked yesterday. We bought at 140, sold at 2, reloaded at 1.45 or something. I sold those at 220 and 250 or something. This morning, I tried it again today. The reason being was I had a big level on ES at 36.25. We touched 36.25 and started bouncing, so I kind of got sucked into that play. It went from 145. What did I get in at? 135 I got in. It went to like 155, but I wanted 180 or 2. So I left them on, but it just ended up going and rejecting the 8-day moving average. The overall market was too weak. Google could not go without the overall market. IWM, as I said, I'm in puts. AMD was probably one of my favorite plays of the year. This one is so weak it can't even... Remember we just went over HYG. At least HYG could bounce to the 21-day moving average, the orange line. AMD and chips are the weakest sector in the entire market. They are the best paying on puts in my experience so far. As you guys see here, HYG used to bounce to the 21-day. AMD can't even get over the 8-day on the daily. So 1 day above and then straight back below. Right here, rejected from the 8-day moving average as well. If you guys don't know, the red line is the 8-day and the orange line is the 21-day. So every time it's just bouncing into the same moving averages, same thing, pulling back, and right now is no different. You guys see the 8-day moving average was touched today morning, straight down on the line. Other than that, I am watching this cat. I do not mind. I said at the end of the day, if you guys want to take cat puts, I don't mind them at all. The 160s for November 18th. The reason being, again, we're at the 50-day simple moving average. We're rejecting that as well. And if you go on the EMAs, it's also at, wait, where was I? What was I on? What was I on before? Okay, I don't remember what I was on, but I guess it was SMA. Yeah, the SMA is the 50, the little teal blue line here. So we just got right up to it yesterday, closed just underneath it, and today big reversal down. And this one looks like it wants way lower. If you guys want to look through anything really, you can look through yields. There is nothing bullish about yields or the 10-year yield at 4 plus. When it's over 4, there's nothing bullish about this market, especially tech. Another thing, the dollar, obviously you guys know, big wrecking ball. UB is just looking like ass completely. Pardon my French, I don't know what else to say. It just looks really, really bad. Like, this is the worst year for bonds in history, guys. You guys are literally watching history happen. Inflation's still above 8%. The Fed is screwed whether they stop rate hikes or keep doing rate hikes. The economy is fucked. We're in World War. There's literally nothing bullish going on right now. So unless some kind of news comes, some rock solid, the war is done, Biden is out, inflation is tamed, I do not see a sustainable rally in the near-term future. Even the Democrats have midterms coming up. That's usually a very good reason for them to step in and save stocks. But if they save stocks, inflation just gets worse. It's nothing they can do here. The stock market must come down more. Other than that, I hope you guys have a good weekend. We've been crushing it here at MSL. If you guys haven't been crushing it, don't worry. Take a day off. Take a couple days off. Read that thread I posted about Twitter. It's not, you shouldn't compare yourself to anyone else. Your journey is your journey. And focus on your trades. If you try to hit home runs every play, if you try to go all in or too heavy in every play, the play's not going to work right from the beginning. Right from the beginning. You can be in the perfect play, the right play. If you're too heavy, it's not gonna work. Just trust me. I've been there, I've done that. Other than that, have a good weekend, boys. I'll send out the newsletter on Sunday.